It's impossible for a woman to ignore you. If you send this goodnight message, have you ever found yourself thinking about someone all day after receiving a simple message? It's a fascinating feeling, isn't it? Well, today, it's your turn to create that kind of impact. In this video, I will reveal 6 goodnight messages that no woman will be able to ignore. These are messages designed to leave a lasting impression, spark curiosity, and make her think about you even as she drifts off to sleep. The beauty of these messages is that they are subtle yet powerful. They don't come across as overly aggressive or desperate, but rather as intriguing and thoughtful. You can use them right away, and if you apply them correctly, you'll notice a change in how she interacts with you. So, if you're ready, stay tuned until the end, because the last message is the most powerful, one that she won't expect, but will definitely make her think about you. And if you believe words are just words, think again. The right words, delivered at the right time, can influence emotions, create attraction, and strengthen a connection. Now let's dive into the messages. Message 1. I hope your dreams are as interesting as the conversations we still have left to have. Who knows? Maybe you'll visit me in one of them tonight. This message is a masterclass in sparking curiosity, intrigue, and emotional connection. On the surface, it appears to be a simple good night wish, but in reality, it is much more than that. It subtly invites her to think about you before she falls asleep, while also planting the idea of a shared future, both in conversation and in dreams. The first part of the message, I hope your dreams are as interesting as the conversations we still have left to have, serves a dual purpose. First, it acknowledges the depth of your past interactions and suggests that they were meaningful, engaging, and thought-provoking. This subtly reinforces the idea that your conversations are special and worth continuing. Second, by mentioning conversations we still have left to have, you create an open-ended thought in her mind. It implies that there's so much more to explore between you two, new topics, deeper discussions, and perhaps even a growing bond. This naturally leads her to wonder what those conversations might be, making her more eager to continue talking to you. Then comes the second part of the message. Who knows? Maybe you'll visit me in one of them tonight. This line is playful, light-hearted, and slightly flirtatious. It suggests the possibility of you being in her thoughts or dreams without directly stating it. By posing it as a question rather than a statement, you give her room to engage with the idea without pressure. This makes the message feel natural and fun, rather than overly serious or forward. Psychologically, when someone is given a suggestion, like dreaming about a person, they are more likely to think about it subconsciously. This is known as priming, where an idea subtly implanted in the mind influences thoughts and emotions. By mentioning the idea of her dreaming about you, you increase the chances that she actually will, or at the very least, think about you before sleeping. Additionally, this message sets a foundation for a follow-up conversation the next day. If she does dream about you, she'll likely want to share it. Even if she doesn't, the message itself is memorable enough that she may bring it up just to keep the interaction going. Either way, you've successfully established a presence in her thoughts. Ultimately, this message works because it's engaging, mysterious, and leaves her with a sense of anticipation. It encourages deeper conversations and subtly builds an emotional connection, making it nearly impossible for her to ignore. Number 2. Sleep well, but I warn you, if you remember me too much tomorrow, you'll know we did something right. This message is a brilliant mix of playfulness, intrigue, and psychological influence. It's more than just a good night wish. It subtly plants the idea that if she finds herself thinking about you the next day, it's not by accident. Instead, it suggests that something meaningful is developing between you two. Let's break it down. The opening, "Sleep well," sets a warm and caring tone. It's a simple yet thoughtful way to wish her a restful night, showing that you're considerate without being overly sentimental. However, the real power of this message comes in the second part. "But I warn you, if you remember me too much tomorrow, you'll know we did something right." This phrase introduces an element of playful teasing. By using "I warn you," you create a light-hearted challenge, making the message feel fun and engaging rather than serious. It playfully implies that thinking about you is inevitable, subtly suggesting that your interaction left an impression. More importantly, this message works on a psychological level. It leverages a concept known as the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, or the frequency illusion. When someone is told to notice something, like a specific thought or memory, they're more likely to become aware of it. By suggesting that she might think of you tomorrow, you've now made it more likely that she actually will. And when she does, she'll remember your words, reinforcing the connection between you. Additionally, the phrase, "You'll know we did something right," implies that your interaction was meaningful. It subtly makes her reflect on the nature of your conversation, inviting her to consider why you've stayed on her mind. It also adds a touch of mystery. What exactly was done right? This ambiguity encourages her to dwell on the thought, making the memory of your exchange linger even longer. Another key strength of this message is that it removes pressure. You're not demanding a response or forcing an emotional reaction. Instead, you're playfully leaving things open-ended, allowing her to engage with the thought in her own way. This creates a sense of natural flow in your interaction, making her feel more comfortable and interested in continuing the conversation with you. When she wakes up the next day and realizes she is thinking about you, she'll likely smile and associate that feeling with you. She may even message you first, acknowledging that your words had an effect. And if she doesn't, you now have the perfect follow-up. So, did I take up too much space in your thoughts today? Keeping the playful energy going. In the end, this message is a powerful yet subtle way to stay on her mind, spark intrigue, and deepen the connection without trying too hard. Number 3. Good night. I don't know why, but I have a feeling you'll dream about me tonight. Let me know tomorrow if I'm right. This message is a perfect blend of confidence, intrigue, and playfulness. It subtly plants the idea in her mind that she might dream about you, making her more likely to actually do so. Even if she doesn't, the suggestion alone ensures that you'll be on her mind as she falls asleep, and possibly even the next morning. Let's analyze why this message works so well. 1. The power of suggestion. The human mind is highly susceptible to suggestion. By casually mentioning that you have a feeling she'll dream about you, you're planting a subconscious seed. Now, as she drifts off to sleep, her mind may naturally start to associate thoughts of you with dreaming. This is a psychological technique often used in marketing and persuasion. It's called priming. When you introduce an idea before an event, like sleep, the brain becomes more receptive to it. 2. Confidence without arrogance. The phrase, "I don't know why, but I have a feeling," is clever because it adds an air of mystery while maintaining humility. Instead of outright saying, "You're definitely going to dream about me," which might come across as cocky, you present it as an intriguing possibility. This makes it playful rather than overbearing, allowing her to interpret it however she wants. 3. Playfulness and flirtation. This message has a flirty undertone without being too intense. It's a light-hearted way to say, "I'm in your thoughts," without explicitly stating it. The playfulness keeps the interaction fun, which is essential for building attraction. Women tend to enjoy conversations that feel spontaneous and engaging rather than forced or overly calculated. 4. A built-in reason to continue the conversation. The last part, "Let me know tomorrow if I'm right," creates an open loop. It encourages her to respond the next day, giving you an easy way to keep the conversation going. If she says she did dream about you, it opens the door for deeper, more playful conversation. If she didn't, you still have the perfect comeback. That just means your subconscious is playing hard to get. This keeps the interaction flowing naturally. 5. A subtle emotional connection. Dreams are personal and sometimes even intimate experiences. By associating yourself with her dreams, you're subtly weaving yourself into her thoughts on a deeper level. If she does dream about you, she'll likely feel a stronger emotional connection, even if it's subconscious. How she's likely to react. Best case scenario, she actually dreams about you and excitedly tells you about it the next day. This sparks further conversation and strengthens your bond. Good scenario, even if she doesn't dream about you, she'll probably wake up remembering your message, which means you successfully stayed on her mind. At worst, she might brush it off, but even then, she's still registering your presence in a light-hearted way. Final thoughts. This message is powerful because it subtly places you in her thoughts without being too aggressive. It plays on psychology, humor, and flirtation, all key ingredients in creating attraction. If you use it correctly, it can deepen your connection and make her anticipate your conversations more. So go ahead, send the message and see how she responds. You might just become her favorite late-night thought. Number 4. I hope you rest well and have beautiful dreams, but if I happen to be in them, let me know tomorrow. This message is a perfect combination of warmth, subtle flirtation, and playful intrigue. It creates a light-hearted yet meaningful interaction that keeps you on her mind as she drifts off to sleep, and even when she wakes up. Here's why this message is so effective and how it works on different psychological levels. 1. It starts with genuine kindness. The first part, "I hope you rest well and have beautiful dreams," is a thoughtful and caring sentiment. It shows that you genuinely wish her well, which can create a sense of comfort and appreciation. Women often value kindness and emotional intelligence, so this sets a positive tone before introducing a more playful element. The power of subtle suggestion. By saying, "but if I happen to be in them," you're subtly planting the idea that she could dream about you. This works similarly to the concept of priming in psychology. When you introduce an idea before an event, in this case, sleep, it increases the chances of that idea sticking in the subconscious mind. Even if she doesn't dream about you, the mere suggestion increases the likelihood that she'll think about you as she falls asleep and even upon waking up. 3. It creates a sense of playful mystery. Instead of saying something direct like, "Think of me before you sleep," this message keeps things light and mysterious. The phrase, "if I happen to be in them," makes it sound unplanned and spontaneous, as if you're simply leaving the possibility open rather than trying to force the idea. This playful approach makes the interaction feel effortless rather than calculated. 4. A natural conversation starter for the next day. The last part, "Let me know tomorrow," is a smooth and effortless way to continue the conversation. If she actually dreams about you, she'll likely mention it, leading to a fun and engaging discussion. Even if she doesn't, she may jokingly respond with something like, "Nope, no dreams of you this time," which still gives you an opportunity to tease her back, e.g., "That just means I'll have to try harder tonight." 5. Emotional and psychological impact builds intrigue. The message is playful and creates curiosity, making her more likely to think about you. Encourages a response. By setting up a small challenge, "Let me know tomorrow," you're giving her a reason to continue the conversation. Subtly deepens the connection. Dreams are a personal and subconscious experience, and by associating yourself with them, you create a deeper, more emotional link in her mind. How she might react. Best case scenario. She actually dreams about you and excitedly tells you the next day, which sparks a fun and flirty conversation. Good scenario. She responds playfully even if she doesn't dream about you, keeping the interaction engaging. Worst case scenario. She doesn't respond at all, but even then, she's likely to remember the message the next time she thinks of you. Final thoughts. This message is a masterful blend of kindness, flirtation, and mystery. It ensures that she falls asleep with you on her mind and gives her a reason to think about you the next day. Whether she dreams about you or not, the idea itself makes an impact, strengthening the connection between you. So go ahead, send the message and see how she responds. You might just become the highlight of her night and the first thing she thinks about in the morning. Number 5. Sleep well. But if you wake up tomorrow with an unexplained smile, you'll know who caused it. This message is charming, confident, and subtly flirty, exactly the kind of text that keeps someone intrigued and thinking about you, even as they drift off to sleep. Let's break down why this works so well and how it plays on psychological and emotional levels. 1. It starts with a warm and thoughtful tone. The phrase "sleep well" is simple but effective. It shows care without being overbearing, making it a natural way to send a goodnight text. It also sets the foundation for the playful teasing that follows, ensuring the message feels warm rather than just flirty. The art of subtle influence. By suggesting that she might wake up with an unexplained smile, you're planting the idea that she'll subconsciously associate her morning mood with you. This is a psychological technique known as suggestion. It creates a mental link between you and a positive emotion, happiness, warmth, attraction, without directly stating it. Even if she doesn't wake up smiling, the fact that you planted this idea means she'll still think about it. And if she does wake up feeling good, your message will pop into her mind, reinforcing the connection. 3. Confidence without being overbearing. The phrase "you'll know who caused it" adds an air of mystery and confidence. It suggests that you have an effect on her emotions, but without being too forward. This kind of self-assuredness is attractive because it implies that you're someone worth thinking about. Notice how this isn't phrased as a question, e.g., "Did I make you smile?" Instead, it assumes the outcome, which makes the statement more impactful. Women often respond positively to confidence, especially when it's paired with playfulness rather than arrogance. 4. It keeps the conversation going. A great good night text doesn't just end the conversation. It gives the other person something to think about until the next interaction. This message does exactly that. If she wakes up and smiles, she may text you and say, "Okay, you were right. I did wake up smiling. What kind of sorcery is this? I think you might be onto something. Should I be concerned?" Even if she doesn't wake up smiling, she might still play along. No unexplained smile this time. Maybe you need to try harder. Either way, she has a reason to respond and continue the flirtation. 5. Emotional and psychological impact creates intrigue. The idea that you might influence her emotions keeps her interested, encourages anticipation. It makes her wonder what effect you have on her and whether she'll experience it. Strengthens emotional connection. If she does wake up happy, she'll associate that feeling with you. Final thoughts. This message is a masterful blend of warmth, confidence, and playful teasing. It makes her think about you as she falls asleep, and even after she wakes up. The best part? It naturally invites a response the next day without forcing one. Number 6. Good night. Or, if you find yourself unable to sleep while thinking about interesting things, feel free to write me. This is the most powerful message yet. It's subtle, inviting, and plays on the psychology of attraction in a way that makes her feel compelled to respond, or at least think about you as she drifts off. Let's break down why this works so well. 1. Open-ended and thought-provoking. Unlike a standard goodnight text, this message doesn't close the conversation. It keeps the door slightly open, inviting her to continue if she wants to. The phrase, "If you find yourself unable to sleep while thinking about interesting things," is brilliant because it subtly suggests that you could be one of those interesting things. It makes her wonder what you might be thinking about. It plays on curiosity. What if she stays awake wondering what qualifies as interesting? 2. A subtle challenge. By framing it as, "If you find yourself unable to sleep while thinking," you're indirectly suggesting that deep thinkers, or those with something on their mind, might respond. This subtly elevates the conversation and makes her feel like she's part of something meaningful. It's also a low-pressure way of saying, "I'm here, but I'm not desperate for your attention." You can reach out, but only if you're thinking about something interesting. This creates a natural sense of exclusivity, like she has to qualify to continue the conversation, which makes her want to. 3. Encourages late-night conversations. Some of the most intimate and memorable conversations happen late at night when people feel more open and vulnerable. By leaving this invitation, you're giving her a reason to engage in a deeper conversation with you at the perfect time, when she's relaxed, less distracted, and more likely to open up. 4. It puts you in her head. Even if she doesn't text you right away, this message ensures that she'll at least think about it. If she does struggle to sleep, she'll remember your words. And if she debates whether to text you or not, that inner dialogue means she's already giving you space in her mind. In other words, the power of this message isn't just in whether she texts you. It's in the fact that you've made her consider it. 5. Confident and mysterious. This message doesn't beg for attention, and that's what makes it so powerful. It's an open-ended invitation, but it also carries a layer of mystery. What would the two of you talk about if she did text? That unanswered question alone keeps the intrigue alive. How she might respond. If she's interested, she may text you right away. Define interesting because I'm up. Wait a little, then message, "Okay, you got me. I can't sleep. What are you thinking about?" Bring it up the next day. "I almost texted you last night, but I figured I'd let you sleep. What were you up to?" Even if she doesn't reply immediately, you've subtly planted yourself in her thoughts. And that's exactly what makes this message so powerful. Final thoughts. This message isn't just about getting a response. It's about influencing thought and emotion. It plays on curiosity, late-night intimacy, and the subconscious desire to feel connected. It leaves the door open just enough to be tempting, but not so much that it feels needy. So, if you want to be on her mind long after she puts her phone down, this is the message to send. On fire.